Thursday of the 34th week in Ordinary Time, 25th of November 2021. First reading from the book of Daniel. The presidents and satraps came along a body, and found Daniel praying and pleading with God. They then came to the king and said, "Have you not just signed an edict forbidding any man for the next 30 days to pray to anyone, God or man, other than yourself, O king, on pain of being thrown into the lion's den?" "The decision stands," the king replied, "as befits the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be revoked." Then they said to the king, "O king, this man Daniel, one of the exiles from Judah, disregards both you and the edict which you have signed. He is at his prayers 3 times each day." When the king heard these words, he was deeply distressed and determined to save Daniel. He racked his brains until sunset to find some way out, but the men came back in a body to the king and said, "O king, remember that in conformity with the law of the Medes and the Persians, no edict or decrees can be altered when once issued by the king." The king then ordered Daniel to be fetched and thrown into the lion pit. The king said to Daniel, "Your God himself, whom you have served so faithfully, will have to save you." A stone was then brought and laid over the mouth of the pit, and the king sealed it with his own senate and with that of his noblemen, so there could be no going back on the original decision about Daniel. The king returned to his palace, spent the night in fasting, and refused to receive any of his concubines. Sleep eluded him, and at the first sign of dawn he was up and hurried off to the lion's pit. As he approached the pit, he shouted in anguished tones, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve so faithfully, been able to save you from the lions?" Daniel replied, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angels who sealed the lion's jaws. They did me no harm, since in his sight I am blameless, and I have never done you any wrong either, O king." The king was overjoyed and ordered Daniel to be released from the pit. Daniel was released from the pit and found to be quite unhurt because he had trusted in his God. The king sent for the man who had accused Daniel and had them thrown into the lion's pit, they, their wives, and their children, and they had not reached the floor of the pit before the lions had seized them and crushed their bones to pieces. King Darius then wrote to men of all nations, peoples, and languages throughout the world, "May peace be always with you. I decree in every kingdom of my empire, let all tremble with fear before the God of Daniel. He is the living God. He endures forever. His sovereignty will never be destroyed, and his kingship never end. He saves, sets free, and works signs and wonders in the heavens and on earth. He has saved Daniel from the powers of the lion." Responsorial Psalm. Give glory and eternal praise to him. Dews and sleet, bless the Lord. Give glory and eternal praise to him. Frost and cold, bless the Lord. Give glory and eternal praise to him. Ice and snow, bless the Lord. Give glory and eternal praise to him. Night and day, bless the Lord. Give glory and eternal praise to him. Light and darkness, bless the Lord. Give glory and eternal praise to him. Lightning and clouds, bless the Lord. Give glory and eternal praise to him. Let the earth bless the Lord. Give glory and eternal praise to him. Gospel acclamation. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Stay awake and stand ready, because you do not know the hour when the Son of Man is coming. Hallelujah. Gospel. Reading from the book of Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "When you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, you must realize that she will soon be laid desolate. Then those in Judea must escape to the mountains, those inside the city must leave it, and those in country districts must not take refuge in it. For this is the time of vengeance, when all the scriptures say must be fulfilled. Alas for those with child, or with babies at the breast, when those days come. A great misery will descend on the land and wrath on this people. They will fall by the edge of the sword and be led captive to every pagan country and Jerusalem will be trampled down by the pagans until the age of the pagans is completely over. There will be signs in the sun and moon and stars, on earth nations in agony, bewildered by the clamor of the oceans and its waves, men dying of fear as they wait what menace the world, for the power of heaven will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to take place, stand erect, hold your head high, because your liberation is near at hand. Gospel of the Lord.